Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WrestleManiac podcast. I am Dave. I'm here with Kyle and White Chavo. Jesus, Kyle. Why do you do the things that you do?
I'm sorry. No, it's just I laughed. I laughed and I was moving because White Chavo.
I'm back in, baby.
Everyone always has I get my normal name.
He embraced it.
I did.
I just keep thinking about it. I'm just like, damn, White Chavo.
And like the reasoning behind it is just
it's 100% fucking deserved. I mean,
100%. Like
Corin White, rest in peace.
Literally fucking made me watch that fucking whole.
I can't believe you made us watch that pay-per-view. Unforgiven 05, get fucked.
God, it's so fucking terrible.
Well, you remember it now, don't you? Don't you?
I don't want to remember it.
I really only remember fucking White Chavo because that shit was bad.
All you need to remember. And the Hurricane.
What did he do again?
He lost the tag team titles. With
No,
Roosevelt.
he literally did nothing that entire match.
He lost the tag team titles. That's what he did.
Oh, man. All right, well, yeah, either way, Unforgiven 05 is not something I'm trying to relive anytime soon.
Not at all. So we're going to go ahead and get into something that we don't really normally do. Mainly because I've always been open and honest about this. We ain't got shit to talk about. And here's why. In wrestling this past week, Super Showdown happened for the WWE. Moving on. Fantasy booking. So
Outside of that, don't want to take away from wrestling.
Okay, go ahead.
Amazing wrestling happened. Unfortunately,
none of us got to watch it yet.
fuck, I've been fucking goddamn. It's really eating away at me. I'm gonna fucking sit down and watch fucking Best of the Super Juniors, and then I'm gonna watch New Japan fucking Dominion because, I mean, I just heard it was fucking amazing, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of matches.
Good. So I'm gonna give a little. Oh my God!
The man, the myth, the legend.
Our savior is here.
What's going on, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Orion is on the show. What is up, you scruffy motherfucker?
What up?
You look extra bunny today.
He was Red Dead Vengeance, man. Of course he's.
Yeah, I was going ham. I'm trying to fucking get this Tatanka Bison, dude, and this motherfucker is not here anywhere. Like, I'm straight up. Okay, so to take you under the veil of Red Dead Redemption. I'm in this motherfucker with $1,035 bounty. Excuse me. Oh God, I had some of those Takis. Those motherfuckers are so hot. Why go to bed?
Takis are like
oh, they're so hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Orion has now died.
Yeah, I'm here. So I'm down in New Austin, right? And I have a $1,3500 bounty on my head because I went on I just watched John Wick 3, and I went on a fucking killing spree, dude. I couldn't help it. It was like, it was in my body. I felt like I had to kill all these people because I just watched John Wick 3. And then...
So good, isn't it?
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. And then so I'm down here trying to get this fucking bison, dude. And every time I start getting the clues, the fucking bounty guys show up, and there's like fucking 30 dudes I gotta kill. So it's like I survived like the first wave of guys, and the next wave of guys come, and I'm trying to fucking smell this fucking bison shit to know where the next clue is. And next thing I know, I'm getting shot in the fucking head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm at such a loss.
But what's going on, guys?
So I'm going to be completely honest. We did our NXT TakeOver 25 review show last week, right before WWE's Super Showdown, which none of us watched because we don't give a fuck about it. Because White
Same.
Chavo watched it because he fucking loves Roman Reigns' balls so much.
And he lost, which was bullshit.
Anyways, all we know is that the biggest match that they promoted out of it was the worst match of all time, and it was botched.
I didn't watch it either because I was embarrassed for wrestling.
Jesus.
Like the card, there was 2 matches that I was interested in, and only 1 match I truly want to see.
So, did you guys listen to the Dean Ambrose Jericho
No,
podcast?
I have it queued up. I haven't listened to it.
I did, and it was awesome.
So, I feel like that Saudi Arabia card is the exact reflection of everything he was talking about.
Yes.
Of like that motherfucker just maybe he's disconnected and doesn't understand. Dude, the fucking Takis, dude, they're so hot and they're in my throat.
Get some water. God
Dude,
damn.
I was sipping on it right out of a straw, dude.
Need some milk. Need some milk to put that fire out, bro.
He needs some milk.
But yeah, dude, like I didn't watch it, but like I was sitting there like I think I was getting my haircut with my buddy, and we have the guy, the barber cutting her hair and shit. We're just like and I'm like looking at Twitter, and I see like Matt Riddle's talking shit about Goldberg, and I have no idea why. And I'm like, why in the fuck is Matt Riddle talking about Goldberg? And then I bring it up like, why is this happening? And then my buddy's like, yeah, no, Goldberg's wrestling today. Like I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Why is Goldberg wrestling? And I get the whole rundown. I was like, dude, I had no idea any of this was happening. Then I hear.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, all I hear is that fucking Goldberg drops Undertaker right on his fucking 75-year-old head, and the match is god awful. And then I was like, well, I want to kind of watch it, but dude, I was doing a radio show the other day. Also, I was doing it Friday night. Like I was like, I didn't know radio still existed. Every time someone talks about radio, I think of Fallout 4 or Fallout 3. Like I'm about to be like fucking New Dog. Or three Dog in the morning and shit, because I didn't know actual radio existed anymore, or it was gonna be like AM radio, like ham radios. But we do this radio show for one of our shows that we were like helping promote and shit, and the dude's like in love with Goldberg, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on with Goldberg? Like, why is everyone like so hyped on it? And I guess because obviously they've been hyping the shit out of that Saudi Arabia match, and then it was happening while we were at the radio show. And obviously it was god awful and everything was shitty. And they both looked like hot garbage. But yeah, dude, like I don't understand the Saudi Arabia card thing. And I get it because like they're paying so much money. Like the Saudi Arabian like princesses, not princess, like female, but multiple.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to let you know.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
You look like you're in witness protection right now.
You know, I don't want you to see my identity. And I hope that you have my voice skewed.
I mean, I can skew it.
So they were in Saudi Arabia.
So he brought me the brick of cocaine, and yeah, no, I don't know. I don't get the Saudi Arabia cards in general, and I don't get why anyone in the world would say, hey, let's take Goldberg, who has practically always been a part-time wrestler his entire life, never been good, only been good at squash matches. Bring in him, send him to Saudi Arabia, and then wrestle fucking Undertaker, who the second that his fucking MMA glove touches a canvas, he has a concussion. You're going to put those two together and expect a good match out of that? And I know they got paid shit tons of money. Like, I get it.
Yeah,
like,
Goldberg got paid like $2 million for it.
For 15 minutes of garbage-ass wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Taker got paid shit ton of money because he's not part of the company anymore either. Like, or he might just be a Legends contracted guy now. But
I think he's still on a free agent contract because he doesn't have a brand. But he has not been inducted into the Hall of Fame, so he is not on a Legend contract yet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. But like, I just know that like Taker was at like Comic-Cons and shit recently.
Yeah.
which means he's a paper appearance type dude now.
Right. Well, I mean,
I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Like, I don't get why anyone in their mind would think, hey, but the only thing that makes sense is that like the crazy ass dudes wearing fucking dresses and turbans said, hey, that's racist as fuck. But the princesses of Saudi Arabia, like, I want yeah, there we go, princess. Said, hey, I want to see Goldberg versus, or I want to see two legends. I want to see this. I want to see that. And they're giving these demands and offering fucking fuckloads of money. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't understand why.
I'd have much rather seen Shawn Michaels versus a hammered Ric Flair right now.
Dude, I would have rather me stretch the baby bird that I call a dick over a log and literally hit it with a hatchet. Like, and I didn't watch it. So,
what a fucking visual for you guys.
Yeah, dude, I don't get it. Like, I don't, like I said, I don't understand. And this is coming off like the eve of AEW tearing the house down, setting the entire wrestling world on fire with fucking 8 bangers of matches back to back to back to back. And then you have NXT, and then you have Saudi Arabia, 2 old farts shitting the bed. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know who I don't, dude. I just
There's
don't know.
only
I don't
2
get
matches that I said I was interested in, and that was Triple H versus Randy Orton. But the match that I really am going to go back and watch is Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, I bet that match. I bet both those matches are good. Like I said, I didn't watch either one of them.
But I heard the Kofi Dolph match was fucking legit.
You guys keep forgetting about New Japan. Come on.
And New Japan's steady putting out bangers of matches. Like, they just did the Dean Ambrose versus
we don't call him that anymore.
Or John Moxley versus
Shota Umino.
No, where he won the U.S. title.
Oh, Juice Robinson.
Yeah, like they just had that match out of nowhere, and that motherfucker was out there wearing trunks or biker tights and shit. Like, he was actually John Moxley from 10 years ago. Like, that shit was very dope.
Yeah, no, they had fucking that match. Then they had fucking Best of the Super Juniors. Dominion was on.
You sound kind of muffled there, Kyle Bob.
Yeah, can't really help it. Dominion, though, if you get a chance to, check out, try and find a couple matches. I just found fucking Ospreay versus Dragon Lee, which that was the fucking match of the night.
Yeah, Dragon Lee's a crazy ass motherfucker.
They said fucking Will Ospreay and fucking him just fucking like they started sprinting and that was it. Like, when they took off from the starting line, that was it. That match
I bet, because those motherfuckers are nuts. Like, Will Ospreay is obviously crazy as shit, and Dragon Lee's been around for a minute, but people now in the U.S. are finally starting to figure out who the fuck that dude is. And he's like, I'm not gonna say the apprentice of Dragon Kid, but like something like that. He's just fucking nuts. And obviously, when you watch his matches, you can see like that dude don't make no goddamn sense. Like, the physics of his body don't make no goddamn sense.
There's so much talent outside of WWE now that I feel that throwing fucking goddamn your fucking hat into the ring for fucking money, you're easily fucking pushing away fucking your crowd to your product.
Well, I mean, I feel like the idea that AEW just walked on and got a TNT contract like that, it just speaks for itself of how finally someone is like realizing how offset the wrestling world has been for so long. And now that they see, like, now that like the mainstream eyes are on guys like the Young Bucks, but especially guys like Joey Ryan, who refused the deal to go to AEW. And not necessarily refused it like in a bad way, but they said, hey, I'm going to stay this way, and I want to be able to do my dick flips, and I want to be able to do all the shit that I do. For him to be able to say that means he's making such a good living off of his merchandise and off of his appearances that why would he sacrifice any of that for a maybe or for a watered down Joey Ryan? Like, I feel like just that alone shows how, like, naive is not the word, but how disconnected WWE is now.
Yeah, And it's that which is it's actually beautiful in a way because with all that fucking goddamn visibility that you're talking about, all of the talent that you have fucking goddamn steadily snatched up for fucking like years, like hotcakes, which isn't being utilized, is now seeing this.
Yeah, you can see it on Twitter. Like even like Cedric Alexander was talking about how he misses like wrestling because he never gets to wrestle anymore. He basically only wrestling on live shows and shit. He's like, oh man, I miss being on 205 Live, and then he said it again, like, hey, I just want to say this again. I miss being on 205 Live. Eventually, that motherfucker's going to reach the end of his contract and then get offered fucking, $120,000 a year to go wrestle for AEW or to go to Japan or go to this or go to that. And and even who's the perfect 10 dude?
Ty Dillinger.
He just got, they just put out today or yesterday that he signed with AEW, which obviously he was on Double or Nothing, but
he officially signed.
Yeah. So it's just like all these dudes who are legitimately good and legitimately didn't get the chance. They have Impact now, and Impact is booming. They have so many guys now, like fucking my boy Jake something, or like Mike Elgin, like one of my fucking, one of the dudes I look up to, like more than anybody in this world when it comes to wrestling. Like they have these dudes now, like Brian Cage, Sammy Callahan, and OVE, and all these dudes who are so fucking good. And now it's all they need is just to find that all they gotta do is like put the puzzle together on the marketing aspect, and Impact's doing great of it right now. Like they're really getting their shit together, and over the past year or so they have of how to market their guys right and how to promote themselves as a product. And AEW obviously is fucking, they get it. Like they get it more than anybody gets it probably, of how to touch that like 18 to 30-year-old demographic to say like, hey, wrestling's cool again, motherfuckers. Come watch this shit. And everyone's like, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm going to watch AEW. And then you get online, like, everyone's like, oh, I don't watch WWE. I don't do this. I don't do that. But I watch AEW, or I watch, because Ring of Honor has kind of lost it now. But Impact is, like I said, Impact's on the come up of it. But, like, AEW, like, for sure is going to be just, I guarantee there's going to be immediately, like, the second they start on TV, they're going to be, like, right in the runnings of, like, top wrestling promotion on TV.
See, which is something I think it's possible, but I'm really kind of hoping not immediately, because I don't want it to start off hot and then like fizzle out and die off.
I think that's I don't think it's going to die off, but I think it's going to start super hot. Like let's say, I don't know, like let's say 2 million people start watching or some shit like that. I bet it's going to start off super hot and then kind of level out. And then as they kind of figure out the puzzle pieces of what keep people attracted, because honestly, like I don't know, but I honestly think that the only people who are watching WWE right now are the diehard fans who love wrestling and don't know how to get wrestling anywhere else. And then the people who just love wrestling for wrestling, like, but it's like I feel like it's those guys who don't know that AEW exists. I know they don't know a New Japan. They don't know Impact is now bangers. Like they are watching WWE because that's what they always done. And then you're going to come to this situation where AEW comes out and they have all this mainstream promotion under them with TNT, and they're going to come out so hot out the gates with all these big ass names like Jericho and John Moxley and Cody Rhodes and all these dudes, and then they immediately touch the indie groups of like the Young Bucks and all those guys. So they're going to come out super hot, and then they're going to start that WCW, WWE like war that we had back in the day, the Monday Night War, that like everyone fucking, at the time it seemed so bad. If you love WWE, you hated WCW. But like, we need that kind of shit. Like we need that competition, because I don't, like, you guys were talking all about the Saudi Arabia shit, and you guys always do like the weekly wrap up shows and all that shit. I literally don't watch shit unless it's a NXT show. So it's just like,
I was about to say that's the best thing WWE has going is NXT, because it's all these guys from all these different backgrounds, and it's just, they put on such a fucking great show.
Right, and I feel like it's just like now it's gonna be, oh shit, like I feel like they're gonna have no choice but to recognize hey, AEW is beating the shit out of us. We have to change something. We have to give Sami Zayn and AJ Styles and Samoa Joe these matches that they used to have back in the day. Hey, we have to let Mustafa Ali come out here and fucking do some crazy shit. We have to highlight so-and-so. We have to highlight, like X and Y, because AEW has the Young Bucks. AEW has the Lucha Bros. AEW has all these guys who are fucking doing Canadian destroyers on the fucking apron. How can we compete with that? Because, 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, people were doing that same stupid ass shit that don't make no sense, but they didn't know how to build it. They didn't know how to put it into a match and make it make sense. They didn't know how to be a showman and a spot monkey at the same time. Now that shit's long gone. The Lucha Bros are they are Showtime. They are the showman. They are the Hulk Hogan, but they also are the spot monkey. They are the fucking, the Young Buck equivalent of being like a John Cena and a Rey Mysterio. So it's like they're losing. They're losing now. So they're gonna have to figure out, once that shit finally debuts on TV and they see the hit that they take, they're gonna have to figure out, like, hey, we fucked up. We weren't prepared for this. So now let's take those guys that we took away from that style and let's give that style back to them and then give them the mainstream audience.
But you're only reactionary. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but I think they're too set in their ways to be anything but reactionary. So they're gonna take a lull. Obviously, WWE is never gonna go out of business, but they're gonna take a lull of saying, like, "Oh shit, we fucked up a little bit, guys. So now we got to figure this shit out." And then it's gonna be the Mustafa Ali's, and it's gonna be the cats from NXT coming up and figuring out their shit.
They need they need to stop. Vince needs to stop. He needs to let Triple H take the fuck over, because that's what Triple H runs NXT. And NXT is leaps and bounds way better than the main roster.
Right, and I feel like I was saying earlier, is that no, he doesn't realize that. He doesn't understand, because he's looking at the mainstream group of fans who doesn't know AEW exists. They don't know the PWG. They don't know that in the Midwest we have AEW, we have Glory Pro, we have Journey Pro now. We can go to Toronto and have Super Kicked, and all that shit's available online for anyone to stream for $9.99 a month. And
look at that cheap plug.
Yeah, and I don't even work for it. I work for all those companies, but I don't work for the fucking company that shows all this shit off. But it's just like all those things, like all that wrestling is so accessible now. So all it takes is just someone paying $9.99, the same as you'd pay for the WWE Network. Now all it takes is that same amount of money, and you get guys from local areas, guys who you can relate to, guys who are going to put their fucking body on the line, because that, like, guys like Warhorse, guys like fucking Jake something, guys like myself, or guys like Tommy Vendetta, any of these dudes like fucking Kobe Durst and Mark Wheeler, all these dudes are coming out of the fucking woodworks to give everything they fucking have to make the fans know that they're here to fucking play. And that's $9.99. WWE Network is also $9.99. And the only thing that WWE Network offers now is a back catalog of when wrestling was super dope.
Truth.
It kind of reminds me of when Sasha Banks recently quit after that pay-per-view loss. People were like, "Oh, Sasha Banks is just living like off of what she did in NXT 4 years ago." Yeah, WWE's been living off what they did like about a decade or two ago.
But that's just kind of like if you look at Sasha Banks in NXT, she has never hit the pinnacle of what she once was, because she never has got the opportunity to be that person that she was. Yeah. Like I legit, like when Sasha Banks was stealing that bow tie from Bayley's fucking super fan Izzy or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, I was in love with NXT. Like, would not miss a show no matter what. Like, would mount the phone on the car and watch it while. Oh shit!
Bless you.
Yeah, Talkies with the Revenge.
Yeah, dude, they're coming back up. But what I'm saying is, like, like back in the day, if a takeover came on, we're mounting the phone up in the car and we're gonna watch it, dude. I don't give a fuck if we're driving 4 hours to Toronto, if we're driving 12 hours to fucking Kansas City. It doesn't matter. We're watching. We're watching Takeover, and that's when Sasha Banks was like fucking the hottest of hot. You couldn't even imagine a female wrestler hotter than her. And then she gets to fucking Raw. She gets the main stage, and yeah, she gets her shine. She gets her shit. She gets the women's title. She gets that shit, blah, blah, blah. But she never is the character she once was. She never had the freedom that she once was to have the Iron Man match with Bayley or the fucking, all those types of matches she's had. It's just like you lose it because it's like, and I hate to say Vince because I love what wrestling has done. So I love WWE and I love Vince McMahon, but it's just like, hey, dude, you got to let it go and let someone else maybe take the reins over because there's a different demographic now who wants to see different styles of wrestling.
Yeah, but they again, there was also discussions about that from like other guys in the back, former wrestlers, even Cena, who when they were saying, you're never going to get another Stone Cold. You're never going to get another Dwayne Johnson, another Cena. You're never going to they're never going to have that freedom. Right? So,
but they also said that same shit with Cena. Like, so before John Cena was John Cena, it was there's never going to be another The Rock. There's never going to be another Stone Cold. And then John Cena comes around and he makes his own mold for everything. There's never going to be another Randy Orton until Randy Orton makes his own mold for everything. There's never going to be another R-rated superstar until Edge makes his own mold for it. And it's just like
I watched that movie about Paige fighting with my family.
I did as well.
The Rock said something in there that it plays to this. He said, "Don't be the next Rock. Don't be the next so and so. Be the first few."
Well, that's what Dusty Rhodes said to Ric Flair, because Ric Flair wanted to be Dusty Rhodes. He wanted to change everything about himself. Before he was Ric Flair, before he was the fucking Nature Boy, he wanted to stop everything and he wanted to be Dusty Rhodes, and that's what Rock's referring to. Is that you can't be, Dusty Rhodes told Ric Flair, you can't be Dusty Rhodes. Rather, you have to be the next Ric Flair, and the next Ric Flair is the first Ric Flair. So you got to get your shit together and figure out what you want. And then he stopped trying to be like Dusty Rhodes and became Ric Flair.
Yeah, but that being said, I don't see anyone being able to break out of the mold to where they're going to get the freedom to express themselves the way a lot of people have before them.
And that's true too. Like it's gonna be so much harder because like I feel it from guys like Seth Rollins who is given so much, not given. Earned would be the word. He's earned so much, but he's still so reined in over and over again. But it's like, hey, you're gonna be WWE champion. You're gonna be the Universal champion. You're gonna be this. But then when they pull him back in over and over again, they never give him the opportunity to be, himself. It always feels like he's being himself of like a watered down.
I feel
version.
like if they let him go, we would see a little bit of Tyler Black, which is what we want.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing as John Moxley. John Moxley is everyone loved that idea that not everyone, but diehard indie fans loved the idea that Dean Ambrose got signed. John Moxley got signed to be Dean Ambrose. Now Dean Ambrose is out here; he's about to be killing it. And then you see him, and you're like, God damn, dude. At first, you're like, fuck yeah, dude. I love seeing John Moxley. John Moxley was one of my favorite dudes. He was a Switchblade conspiracy with Sami Zayn. He was this. He was the fucking. The deathmatch champion and shit like this, and now we're seeing the Shield. The Shield's bad as fuck, and then you see him kind of just like you could see he was so complacent because he was so miserable, and then you see him come back and you're like, oh fuck, dude, he has the John Moxley, and then you see the montages he's paying out of pocket, and then you're like, oh fuck, dude, John Moxley's back. The John Moxley we seen when he was sleeping in his car. Now that's that same John Moxley who was sleeping in his car. Now he's a millionaire. Now we're about to see some shit because John Moxley's back. And I think that's the same kind of thing that I feel like since AEW's around now, they're going to have to give the reins towards the personality more to try to keep up with what they're going to be able to bring. Because the guys like the Young Bucks, the guys like Young Bucks, they did that shit from nothing. They did that shit and built an empire off of merchandise sales alone. So now, with the Elite and with the Young Bucks, how in the fuck are you going to keep up with that? The only way you're going to keep up with it is take the reins off and let these guys have a little more freedom. And it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in the first 3 to 6 months that AEW debuts on TNT. It's going to take time for someone to fucking come up and like the Ghost of Christmas Past Eric Bischoff slapping the ghost of Eric Bischoff is slapping Vince McMahon in the face while he's trying to sleep in his $1 billion mansion. It's going to take shit like that. It's going to take that shit like, hey, motherfucker, you fucked up. Now it's time to let go, let loose, and let's get back that Stone Cold era. Let's get back to Triple H. Let's get back to The Rock. Let's get back Undertaker. Let's get back that fucking Attitude Era.
Do not even take the Ruthless Aggression era at this point.
I don't think it's gonna go well. I don't think it's gonna go well.
No, and also but with the so to play devil's advocate to that, WWE's they're not hurting in any way. They're not losing money in any fashion right now. So, it's just like the only idea that hurts them is the idea there's someone to compete with them. So it's just like, do they embrace the competition like we want? Like the Monday Night War? Hold on, I'm going to throw up these Takis real quick.
Oh, God. Fuck, mute yourself. Oh, my God.
They're just a little too hot, dude.
I muted you. I missed what you said. I thought you were going to, puke.
No, I just felt like a good one was coming up for real.
Oh,
for real.
my God.
But
I'm a sympathetic puker, bro. Don't do that.
Oh, no.
What I'm saying is that either WWE is going to have to say, hey, we want to compete because we are the best of the best, which they are right now, obviously. Or they're going to say, hey, we're the 9 to 15, the 9 to 17 group demographic, and that's what we appeal to, and we appeal to the diehard wrestling fan who have been around for years and years. That's why we keep those people, and we're going to let these guys have the 18 to 25. We're going to let these guys have the 25 to 35 demographic. But it's really because obviously by NXT and their existence, Triple H ain't buying that shit. Triple H wants to be the best of the best of the best, no matter what. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. NXT is the fucking Bret the Hitman Hart of wrestling. But Mr. McMahon is dying by the idea that because we did it before, and everyone knows we did it before since way, way, way back in the day, since your brother, since your father, since your uncle, since your grandpa watched wrestling, we've been around. So come buy our tickets. That's what he's living by right now.
He's going off of the legacy aspect as opposed to adapting and overcoming.
Yes, exactly. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
He needs to adapt.
I mean, no, he won't, man. And it's just like Moxley said on that Jericho interview. He's going to die in the chair. He's not going to hand power over.
Bro.
Yeah, and I don't want that to happen because I love the idea of there being competition. And I love the idea if I'm watching TV, and being able to flip back and forth between TNT as if it was really Monday Night Wars. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of being able to watch AEW and then watch WWE and flip back and forth because that's how I loved wrestling. Like I loved wrestling because when I first started watching wrestling, I first started watching WCW because WCW was way more colorful, but way more entertaining when it came to guys like Jericho and guys like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko and Alex Wright and all these cruiserweights and all the dudes going so fucking ham to the same exact way that AEW is now to prove to these motherfuckers that they are the best wrestlers in the world. I want that. I live for that because that's how I feel every time I fucking get into the ring and shit. I want to prove that to these motherfuckers who don't know that I am a motherfucker to deal with. And I said motherfucker a lot and they get it. But but also remember, I've been hunting bison, and that's a hard way to fucking.
That's what you get here, folks. We go full circle.
Yeah. So to bring you all around, I might have had a couple of drinks because I was hunting this bison for hours and hours.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? I grew up on WCW. I grew up on the cruiserweights. That's what made me love wrestling is the cruiserweights and the Wolfpack. And then what brought me to WWE is the New Age Outlaws. And then what brought me to WWE is Stone Cold. So it's just like...
Well, I mean, Stone Cold because that's your dad.
That is my fucking biological dad, dude. And I get a Ouija board out every fucking night and I pray and I ask my mom, how in the fuck did you meet Stone Cold? And she don't fucking answer. And by the way, to the viewer, my mom's dead. And that's why I'm using the Ouija board. If you didn't put that shit together.
Jesus Christ.
But so it's just but all jokes aside, and also very, very dark jokes aside, I started with WCW, and that's how I found WWE. Is because of the competition aspect, and because when they go to commercial, we're such a piece of shit as a society. You think I'm going to wait 3 minutes for action? No, I'm going to betray you and go to the next station over to watch the next wrestling promotion because I want to see wrestling. I want action nonstop. So then I went to WWF, and then I seen the New Age Outlaws pushing Cactus Jack and fucking Chainsaw Charlie over in a dumpster, and I was immediately hooked. And then fucking Billy Gunn still to this day, even when I see him now in real life, I'm like, Billy Gunn, hey, I know that you don't remember this the last time I told you, but you're my fucking favorite wrestler of all time. And I want you to remember that. And he's like, dude, I just seen you 2 weeks ago, and I remember that. And I'm like, hey, but it don't fucking matter, dude. I want you to know that you are my favorite of all time. You, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, but it's just like I want that, but that's what brought me all together.
You want that competition between promotions because that's what brought you to it.
Yeah, the allure, because I was stuck on WCW for so long because that's what I was first introduced with, and I'm sure it's the same way opposite. Like if someone was first introduced to WWF back in the day and they accidentally discovered WWE or WCW, they're like, "Oh shit, dude, Eddie Guerrero." Oh,
I was the exact same. I was the exact same opposite as you. I was introduced to WWF, and somebody at school, I think it was in like 4th grade. They were like, "Hey, did you watch Monday Night Raw?" And I was like, "What?" So the next Monday, I fucking watched Monday Night Raw, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" And then I fucking started flipping channels, and I found WCW, and then it was just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I watched Raw first, and then I noticed that WCW was on.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, was on such a lag, like he was.
You came in so slow. You were like, I watch. Like you were trying to talk to Mr. Spell with low batteries.
I like it.
Sounded like Sloth from the Goonies.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, and regardless of how you started watching it, regardless if it was WWF and like fucking AEW or what was the other one back in the day? If it was before ECW, but if it was between you watching WWF and the territories, then you felt that. You felt that loyalty to Hulk Hogan. You felt that loyalty to fucking, Bruiser Brody. You felt that loyalty to all those guys, and then that slowly evolved. And then you stuck with one of those promotions, and then you were a WWF guy. But then WCW came along, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, I got to choose a loyalty now. Who am I going to be with, Stone Cold or fucking Goldberg? I remember being at, like, a fucking NASCAR racetrack, and they were selling fucking Stone Cold shirts and not knowing who in the fuck Stone Cold was. But I was so appalled that some fucking asshole would be out here selling Stone Cold shirts while Goldberg existed in this world. And it didn't make sense to me.
But then you found out he was your dad, and it all changed.
And then I see that fucking Stone Cold. I see him. I lock my fucking beady eyes with his fucking beady eyes, and I realize that somewhere, some way, my fucking mom went up with him, and they fucked, and and somehow Stone Cold became my goddamn dad.
Hold on, are you cutting a promo right now? Like, what's going on here?
Dude, it just happens because all I'm thinking about is getting back to my goddamn game and killing this fucking Tatanka Buffalo. So I'm so hyped right now. But yeah, it's like, but regardless if it's WCW to WWF or WWF to WCW or ECW and WWF to or to WCW and WWF to ECW, it doesn't matter how you got to wrestling and then how you became an avid fan and knowing all the groups between Noah, New Japan, to WCW to ECW to WWE. It doesn't matter how you found it. This is what we're about to encounter all over again. Brand fucking new. WWE, New Japan, and fucking AEW are about to be fucking killing it all over again. Just like we remember in 97, 98, 99. And it's a fucking perfect time to be a wrestling fan and be alive.
Do you know what the most watched thing on mine and Kyle's WWE network is?
What's that?
The Monday Night Wars.
Exactly, dude. because you want to pick a side. The same as you love the fucking garbage-ass Baltimore Ravens for no fucking reason, and you have Baltimore Ravens memorabilia spewed about your fucking garbage-ass house.
So I feel very personally attacked here. How are those fucking Detroit Lions Super Bowl wins there?
You know for a goddamn fact that I don't watch sports, so don't fucking come to me. But what I'm saying is that you want to pick a side. You want to. If I'm going to root for anybody, I'm going to root for the garbage-ass fucking Detroit Lions because that's where I grew up. But, like, so what I'm saying is that you naturally, no matter what, it's in your blood to pick a side. It's in your blood to root for the fucking Baltimore Ravens, even though they aren't shit and they haven't been shit since, like, 2008. It's in your blood.
Jesus Christ, man! What did I do to you? Fuck.
But it's the same way because if I felt like anyone was fucking trying to talk shit about Kevin Nash and the Wolfpack, dude, we're fucking fighting right then and there. Because
he's yelling so loud, his speaker is just.
I'm yelling for real. I'm outside. I'm sure people are very concerned because I'm talking about Conan, K-Dog. You think you're talking shit about K-Dog, dude? He was a fucking Mexican superstar. And
Aaron Orion, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Orion is sitting in his fucking backyard cutting a promo on nobody. And neighbors are peering through the blinds about to call the cops because they think there's a domestic dispute.
Dude, and for sure, because there's a lady who lives directly across the street and she's missing a leg, dude. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her. I don't know.
Missing a leg.
I don't know if she had diabetes. I don't know if she has something wrong, but
Is she a hefty gal?
No. She's very thin. I seen her moving into her house. You're yelling so loud,
you're setting off car alarms,
dude. And that's the opposite side, dude. The dude who lives directly on the other side, I swear to God, through that fucking car alarm, definitely in the Men in Black, dude. That's no joke.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like the lady next door, she's very thin. She looks like she might have been addicted to meth at some point in her life. Doesn't have a leg. I went over there to help with some fucking groceries and shit the other day, and I thought, oh, dude, that girl kind of looks cute. I'm gonna go help this bitch with some groceries. No fucking leg, dude. Like she's out here fucking with a false leg and shit. Like,
but does she pull it off?
Aaron, real quick.
I can't.
Bro, Aaron, hold on. Hey, how many bumps have you had?
Well, dude, recently I just got a trampoline in my backyard, okay? So I've been trying to teach my kids how to do dumb shit on the trampoline. I legit look like I fell off a fucking motorcycle because I was trying to do like a 360 backflip on the trampoline the other day to show these motherfucking kids what for. And, dude, I swear I landed directly in a scorpion position on my face. So I could be talking to you right now, 100% concussed. And I have headphones on right now, which is why I'm yelling, because I don't know what's going on in the outside world. I blocked that out fucking because of Beats by Dre, dude, because I ain't playing with these motherfuckers out here.
Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? All right, so when I called you right before we went live, and I was just like, hey, you want to come on? And you were like, well, I'm playing Red Dead, so I don't know. And I'm like, all right, no big deal. And then you're like, okay, I'll be on. I did not expect that.
Well, I said, no, hold on. I said yes both times, but I also wanted you to know that I'm giving up something very important to me, the Tatanka Buffalo. All right? So I never said no. I said, hey, I will, but wait, listen. I'm on the fucking heels of a Tatanka Buffalo right now. And I'm giving that up for the WrestleManiacs podcast. And I want you to be appreciative of it.
Hey, flip your ears, because we can barely hear you.
Oh, dude, how is that possible?
Because the mic's on your left side.
Oh, dude, that's fucked up because I didn't know. Okay, so I have my Beats by Dre in. So I got the wireless 3, so they don't play no games. And I'm out here, and you call me, and I'm like, why the fuck is Sergeant Ball calling me? And because I don't call you Dave Ball, because that shit don't make no sense to me. So,
but why? Like,
you're always.
How am I still Sergeant Ball? I haven't been Sergeant Ball in almost a year.
What's that?
I haven't been Sergeant Ball in almost a year. Like, how is this possible?
Oh, but you'll forever, for the rest of your life, be Sergeant Ball to me.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Oh, no, it's not upsetting to me because I lived through being in the military at one point in time in my life. That's what gets me fucking up in the morning. I have my alarm still goes off, reveille, 6:30 in the morning, every day to get up and not be a piece of shit
I think I woke up at 11 today.
See, I can't have that, dude, because what happened, okay, for real, all jokes aside, is what happened is I let all that shit go. I let that discipline of being a G.I. Joe, all that shit of being the bad motherfucker in Charlie Battery, I let all that shit go. And I was waking up at 11 o'clock, and then all of a sudden I'm 240 pounds. And I'm wondering, why in the fuck am I so fucking fat, and why am I such a piece of shit that I can't get my shit together? And then I see videos of me wrestling and shit, and I'm like, wait, dude, for 2 seconds, you look like you might be fucking, you're about to get signed. You're on Raw, you're wrestling fucking Baron Corbin, you're standing next to fucking Kurt Angle on Raw, 10,000 people watch the Battle Royal, and next thing I know, you're a fucking garbage-ass piece of shit wrestling a VFW hall. You got to get your shit together. So then I got all my shit back collectively together. I set the Reveille as my alarm, and I get up every morning and run 2 miles. I don't play games because I remember fucking Smoke Vance and everyone fucking yelling and screaming at us back in the day, and I use that as fire because I'm a motherfucker to deal with. In the ring, outside the ring, it doesn't matter. I at one time was a superhero, and I'm not going to let that shit go just because I don't put on my fucking uniform every fucking day. I do put on a uniform every day, but that motherfucker is a unitard now, and that's a little bit different.
Bro.
But I still put it on nonetheless. And I'm supposed to fucking put this facade up that I'm the baddest motherfucker alive. And I lived that every single day while I was in the military. And I forgot that one fucking, I left. I had my fucking foot broke and shit. I had a fracture in that bitch. I had bunions, all kinds of shit.
Oh, I
For
remember
a minute,
that.
I forgot. Hey, I am a bad motherfucker, dude. I'm 230 pounds. And I'm still scaling the rope faster than any of these fucking turd ass pieces of shit. I forgot all of that. And then I had to come to the realization that, hey, dude, the reason that the thing that makes you special, the thing that makes you Aaron Orion, the Vehicle City villain, the fucking soldier that you were, is because at one time you were in a competition, the same as WCW and WWE, to bring it all full circle. You were trying to prove to all these fucking garbage ass fucks in Charlie Battery that you are the baddest motherfucker alive, and ain't nothing they could say, nothing they could do to prove you wrong. Because the second that we got on the fucking mats for combatives, or we were running 2 miles, or we were doing anything, I was going to shit on them for hours and hours and hours, and I would never die. I forgot all about that because
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how I feel about being called a garbage piece of shit.
But
Just take it.
I felt that because I let that shit go. And then the other day, a couple weeks ago, I had to say, hey, dude, listen to yourself. You pride yourself on when we came out of fucking Louisiana and we were fucking doing all that garbage ass shit, and we were fucking playing advanced laser tag, and we were miserable as fuck. And we came out still after all that. We thought it was bullshit. We thought being in fucking Fort Polk was bullshit. And we were like, oh man, we're about to go to Africa. We're about to do all the other shit. And the second we stepped onto the PX, there was Cub Scouts fucking eye-fucking us at 8 years old because they see a G.I. Joe because of the uniform. They see this. And we're like, I forgot all about all that shit. So I'm not going to let that shit go. I have to show these punk-ass motherfuckers what for. And then all of a sudden, I downloaded the Reveille as a fuck. I paid $199.
Look at you.
I paid that.
Big
to
spender.
Make sure. Yeah, dude, $199 to wake up every single morning at 6:30 to the Reveille, busting my fucking ears to say, hey, get the fuck up and go run 2 miles. Don't be a pussy-ass bitch. Show these punk-ass motherfuckers. And now I'm not talking about me in the previous army. I'm talking about my competitors and now my peers and everyone I look at, my subordinates of pro wrestling. I use that same mentality that I used back in the day when we'd be at Han Gym, at the CrossFit gym, at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then go to PT afterwards. I use all that same motivation that wanted me to shit on guys like fucking Freeman, guys like Maynard, and guys like Sanchez.
Christ.
But you know what I'm saying? I use that because I wanted these fucking motherfuckers to know that I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. And I wanted them to remember that every single time we stepped in any competition, if it was wind sprints, 30, 60, 61, 20s, it didn't matter. And I forgot that shit because I was sleeping until 11 o'clock. So then I set my alarm for fucking 6:30. I get up, I make my bitch ass fucking bed every single day, just in case my fucking fake ass first sergeant walks into my goddamn residential home and says, hey. Why is it your goddamn bedmate and I have to answer that shit? I do that shit because
I wear
I
recorders.
forgot.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, hey, private, hey, why don't you have these hospital corners in? And I do, and he's like, oh, I see, there's a pizza box sitting on your counter. What's going on with that? Like, I remember all that shit, dude. And I ain't playing that shit no more. And now it's not with my peers in the Army, the guy that we served the fucking United States Army for. Now it's with these punk motherfuckers of the pro wrestling industry. And I want these motherfuckers to know that this shit ain't a game to me. And I want them to fucking know that if they step to me in any real life situation, I will fucking stab them and I will kill their whole family. And I will waterboard them for hours and hours.
You can't do that.
But I will, Sergeant Paul. I will. I will fucking stab them to death, and I will hunt them down piece by piece.
Do I need to report you to Homeland? Like, what's going on here?
But all jokes aside, that's legitimately how I wake up every single morning. Is because I let that shit go. I let it go, and I forgot that to be there, to be that 1% or 4% or whatever bullshit that the fucking recruiters spew to you to get you to sign up, that is true. Like,
yeah, Kyle, what's that bullshit you tell people?
1%.
Fuck, you took a bump before you came on this show. I don't give a fuck.
But you know what
How much cocaine have you done today?
Listen to you.
Oh, dude, I'm living off the high of you fucking cutting my dick off the second before I killed that Tatanka buffalo. That's all I'm doing.
Fucking buffalo.
Full circle,
what I'm
we're
saying
back
is
at the
that,
buffalo.
But what I'm saying is that I forgot all about that shit, dude. I forgot about the PT. I forgot about waking up at 6. I forgot about waking up at 5 and meeting my boys like Barris and Taggy and all those dudes at Han. And I forgot about all that shit for a while, dude. And then I met guys like my boys now, Tommy Vendetta, who was a Marine and shit like that. And then slowly but surely, I remember that I was a bad motherfucker, dude. And why? Just because I'm not fucking lacing up my goddamn shitty ass Reebok fucking boots. That shit's not over, dude. I gotta wake up every fucking day. And I wake up every fucking day thinking that same shit, that someone's gonna come into my fucking house and look at my goddamn hospital corners and make sure that shit's folded right. So every single day I wake up and now I gotta push that on the wrestling community. Now it's different. It's not the Army. It's not fucking guys like Payne and fucking Sanchez and Maynard and Senior. It's fucking guys like my boys like Karam and fucking and Vendetta and Price and Weir and Wick and all these guys, that they have to know that there's a fucking pecking order to this shit, and I'm a bad motherfucker, and you better get in line, because once it's your turn, I will fucking kill you in that goddamn ring, and they will have to bury me in the ring and fucking come every single year on my fucking death day and plant flowers in front of my fucking gravestone if you think for a motherfucking second they are gonna beat me in this goddamn fucking sport that is professional wrestling. And also, guys, remember that I'm back here right now thinking, oh, that's Tatanka Buffalo and right there with that.
So, my next question is, what matches have you had recently? But I don't know if I want to know, because I feel like I'd be an accomplice to murder.
Dude, honestly, the biggest match we had the other day was against OBE, and it was so fucking dope. Like, it was just like, it was, so OVE works for Impact. They're a huge staple. They used to be called the
Can you fix your headphones, because you're muffled up a little bit?
I'm sorry, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
There we go.
I have headphones on. But so we just wrestled OVE the other day. Me and my partner Jack Price, who, he's been my fucking dog since day one. Since the second that I met him, I knew he was special. I knew he was going to be something big. And on accident, we became tag team partners. And we wrestled OVE the other day. It was supposed to be Jake and Dave Christ, and then it ended up being, fuck, dude. Now I'm gonna be the biggest piece of shit.
It doesn't matter, because you're the fucking top of the pecking order. Remember?
But Dave was there, and we wrestled these motherfuckers, and Jake's out there, and we're like, man, fuck, dude, this is gonna be a garbage ass match, dude. This sucks, dude. And we ended up having a banger ass match, and it was just like I said, it's all three of the guys from OBE, all four of them, Sammy Callahan, the Chris brothers, they're all on Impact Wrestling, killing it every, and we finally get our chance to have a match with them, and do we fucking go ham in this motherfucker. And so we're going into it. I don't know, we don't really know what to expect, but we're like, fuck, dude, this kind of sucks because we're not getting the chance that we wanted. We're not getting the Irish Airborne. We're not getting the OVE that you see on Impact every single night. What we're getting is the Madman Fulton and Dave Chris, and that's not the same. But then fucking Fulton's on WWE. Fulton was the original guy in Sanity, and then he tore his rotator cuff or some shit.
Sawyer
and then he got
Fulton?
released.
Or Fulton
Yes.
Sawyer or whatever?
Yeah. He got released, and now he's in Impact, and he was from Ohio, so now he's part of OVE. And he was in our match. He replaced Dave Chris. And we fucking had this dope-ass fucking match with them in Traverse City, and we just fucked in Traverse City, Michigan. And it was just it was so much fun. We had such a good-ass match. We hit all these fucking dope-ass fucking deals. And it was just and that was, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago now, probably a couple of weeks ago now, realistically. But it was one of those things where we were so hyped to wrestle OVE from Impact, and then oh shit, OVE's not going to be there. Now it's just Dave Chris and Sawyer Fulton, which now is Madman Fulton, and we're like, fuck, dude, that kind of sucks because we want OVE that everyone knows. But the next thing you know, we fucking watch Impact and Madman Fulton down there fucking killing Rich Swann and shit like that. We're like, oh shit, now this is still good, dude. It's not the same, but it's still good. And we have this dope ass match. We're hitting all these dope ass moves, and they're hitting dope ass moves, and the crowd's feeling it, everyone's feeling it, and we lose to OVE from fucking TNA or Impact or whatever, and afterwards we all get together and we go out to the fucking Lake Michigan or some shit, and we all hang out, and everyone's just appreciative from the Death Red Army, from my faction, DTA. Everyone's just so appreciative of how far we came and everything we've done. And we're like, shit, dude, this started in Fort Stewart. This started in Georgia with me and my boy Jamie Hall. And next thing you know, fast forward a couple of years and we're wrestling fucking, the biggest names in indie tag wrestling next to the fucking, Lucha Bros. And Lucha Bros are feuding with these motherfuckers in Impact. And we get to have a bomb ass match with them, and then afterwards we go out to Lake Michigan, dip our toes in the icy ass lake, and we're just laughing and having a good ass time, and it's just like shit, dude. At one time when I was 13, 14 years old, I was wrestling on my trampoline at my grandma's house. Fast forward, now I'm 30 years old. I've wrestled at Raw. I've wrestled guys who are the top of the line. I've been everywhere. I've done all this shit, and the next thing you know is I need to get to Impact. I've done a couple bullshit things for them, and then next thing I know, I need to get to do Japan or do England or Great Britain, and really use this passport that I paid so much money for. And I think all those things are on the rise for late 2019, 2020. But yeah, so in a nutshell, we wrestled so many good dudes, and I wrestled so many awesome dudes. The other day we did a show called Battle Tested, and it was only U.S. military veterans, and so it was guys from the military, it was turds, fucking guys from the Navy who was hardly in the military, and then it was guys from the Army and the Marines, and we all got together in one big venue, and PPW, Pure Pro Wrestling, branched off and put this new brand of wrestling out of guys. Hey guys, come here, because this is guys who have sacrificed their life for everything, or these guys have fucking signed into that line to serve your country. Now we're here wrestling in a professional wrestling ring, and there's fucking guys like myself and Tommy Vendetta, who are all Death Red Army guys, or Luis Casanova and Garrison Creed, and all these dudes who've been in the Army or been in the Marines or been in the Air Force or whatever, and they somehow found their way to professional wrestling the same way I found my way to professional wrestling when I was fucking 13 years old or whatever. And the show might not have a super, fucking notoriety behind it, like, oh shit, this is AEW, or this is Glory Pro, or this is blah, blah, blah. But there was so much more behind it because we were at a VFW, and we were at a VFW, and veterans are there watching our show, and we're being able to show them, like, hey, dude, I love everything you've done, regardless if you're 90 years old or 50 years old or 25, 30 years old like I am. So it's the little shows like that, all the way to the escalated shows at Chainsaw where we wrestled OVE. All that shit matters, dude. It's being, I don't know, if I would have talked to you in October of last year, it would have been like, oh shit, I just wrestled Baron Corbin, blah, 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 blah. But shit like Battle Tested is equally as important to me. Like, that shit matters equally as much because that shit, that's everything that I represented. My character of Aaron Orion, which is not a character, this is me. All that shit is all fucking, it all comes full circle. Like, that shit matters equally as much as wrestling Baron Corbin in front of 10,000 people and 10 million people watching online. That shit is equally as important to being in front of fucking, 120 people at a VFW in the middle of nowhere in Michigan representing the U.S. Army in this tournament that I'm in.
That's awesome, bro. That's really fucking awesome.
It's really humbling to hear that. Like, no matter everything that you've done, you still take like solace and appreciation.
Well, it's just like, dude, there's so much shit that I think about. Like, I just went on that big ass rant of being a GI Joe and being in the Army, and I didn't know any of you guys except for Sergeant Ball or Dave Ball and this bullshit. Like I didn't know any of you guys, but like that shit mattered to me. And if you knew Dave before any of this shit, you know that like I was a fucking shitty ass specialist running around, but I was a guy that the fucking the privates and all the dudes looked up to because I was a motherfucker who was here, dude. I was, regardless if I had maybe I had a broke ass foot, maybe I had a fractured foot, maybe I had this, maybe I had fucking back issues, maybe I had this. I was out in the goddamn field every single time. I was going to give everything I had because guys like Maynard and Senior and Sanchez, all the guys I mentioned earlier, those guys are fucking here, and now it's time to show these motherfuckers that we're here for a fucking reason. And it doesn't matter. I might have a broke ass back, I might have a broke ass foot, I might have this. I don't give a fuck, dude. We're out here to fight for everything that we fucking have, regardless if we're fucking air assault, if we're fucking it doesn't matter. I'm here, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be the fucking fuck, now I don't get the word for it, but I am the goddamn top dog of this motherfucker, regardless if I'm a fucking private, fucking specialist, sergeant. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna give everything I have, and I take that shit right into wrestling, and that's why but always like that shit. It resonates so much with you when you run into a couple of the dudes who are from the Army or from the Marines or from the Air Force. You immediately click that shit like, oh, that's my fucking battle buddy, bro. Like, you feel that shit, dude. Like, you feel it. You feel it. Like, when you meet someone you click, like, you vibe with that was in the military, you have so much more in common, and you have that same kind of like that demeanor, that common denominator.
To back up what you're saying right now, when I got out, I actually started working out at a car dealership and selling cars. One of the managers was in the Army for like 8 years, and me and him clicked fucking instantly.
Yeah, and it's because like you have that intangible. So when I met Tommy Vendetta, I met him and I was like he had just started training, and I was like, oh, dude, there's something special about this guy. And I don't know what it is. And then boom, I found out he was in the Marines. And obviously, if you're in the Marines, you're a fucking pussy ass bitch. But it's the military in general that brings me to you. And I'm like, oh fuck! And now he's one of my best friends. And I will steady always, like, we just had a match the other day, and he beat me, but I don't give a fuck. But I fucking brought him as a peace offering. A box of crayons, because I know he's going to eat these fucking crayons. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I know that he's going to try to act hard in front of all the fucking fans watching in the goddamn at the show, and he's going to act like he doesn't eat these crayons, but I know he's going to eat them. So I bring out the crayons, and I propose them to him, and then obviously he takes out a crayon. He's going to save that bitch for later. And and then later, like when I think everything's on the up and up and I'm about to beat this piece of shit right here at this VFW hall in front of all my veterans, in front of me, all of these fuckers, I pour out the box of crayons on the ground. And I'm like, oh, bitch, it's about to go down. And the next thing I know, I'm taking a fucking Canadian destroyer or a fucking Marine destroyer or whatever you're going to call it, a flipping fucking pile driver, and the box of crayons that I just I pour it out on the goddamn floor, and then he beats me for the victory. And after that, we still shook hands. We still, all that bullshit, all the bullshit of the camaraderie of being in the military, all that, the same reason that everyone on this goddamn podcast is in the military, or I feel like I don't know the one dude who was on this bitch this time, but I'm sure he's been on here before. But it's like I assume he's in the military.
He's been part of the group since the beginning. He's also in the Army. He was mine and Kyle's when we were both section chiefs at Fort Hood. He was one of our guys when he first joined. And now he just became a section chief. And before we started,
so now you think you're a section chief? Now you're going to come into the group chat when I'm here? I've been doing.
No, he's been in the field. He's out in Hawaii.
Practically doing this fucking thing for so long now.
Oh my God! You've been on like 4 episodes.
He's got seniority now. I've been here so many times.
But you know what I'm saying? But there's a reason that all you guys as the WrestleManiacs podcast, and there was a reason that when you call me, I didn't ignore your fucking call like I should have so I could kill this goddamn buffalo. There's a reason that this shit didn't happen. And the reason is because we're fucking boys. We're brothers. We're family because of all the bullshit we've been through. And when I needed someone to stay, you fucking offered me your fucking son-in-law's bed, and I fucking laid in that bitch watching Game of Thrones 5 seasons deep. Like regardless of what, I don't know what your fucking ex-wife and all those fucking and that little fucking kid's doing, but the imprint of me watching Game of Thrones in his bed, that shit's there forever. And
it's true. He was on his way out, and like he had nowhere to stay because his wife was gone. And I was like, dude, the kid's gone for the summer. Just come stay here. So he's shacking up in my fucking man cave for a fucking week. And then when the stepson goes to fucking Oklahoma, he's fucking taking over a bedroom.
Yeah, so I'm sleeping on a fucking a fucking Serta mattress. But that's because that's that shit. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, and I know that I'm bullshitting so much, and I'm long-winding conversations like a motherfucker, as I do every time I'm on the goddamn podcast. And I'm sitting out. This time I'm sitting outside my grandma's house because she just had a fucking stroke the other day, so I'm babysitting her like she's 2. The last time I'm fucking at a Family Dollar, and I'm just yelling outside of the fucking convenience store. It's all the same. It's because when you call, I'm going to fucking be there. Like, no matter what, because you're my fucking boy, and you were there for me when I thought my life was shitty. And when we got back from the field and we wanted to go home and fucking see our family and fuck or jerk off or whatever bullshit you wanted to do.
What the fuck?
We were there together cleaning 50 cals instead.
So it sucks so bad.
Instead of me ignoring your fucking phone call, I'm going to fucking answer it. And then I'm going to leave that Tatanka Buffalo to free roam that goddamn game that's fictional as fuck to talk on this goddamn podcast. But
you're yelling again so much. You're so passionate about what you're saying that the speaker is still going every time.
That sucks.
He only gets passionate about that goddamn buffalo. Shit.
But like I said, dude, like all jokes aside, and trying to be funny all aside, like that's what that shit is about. Like, and that's what that shit, and that's why I can sit here and compare wrestling on Raw against Baron Corbin standing next to fucking Kurt Angle, and I can compare that moment, one of the most important moments of my life. I can sit there and compare that moment to being on fucking Pure Pro Wrestling's Battle Test, where every single performer in the show is some sort of military vet, is because that shit is equally as important. The same way I got on WWE, where through fucking knowing Ruby Riott and having the hookup and being there and being one of the best performers, all the way to being one of the best performers of being in the United States military and showing that shit, the discipline that I have in my every fucking day life, putting that into the fucking squared circle and beating the shit out of Tommy Vendetta and beating the shit out of fucking Luis Ortiz, who are both fucking military fucking veterans in some sort. All that shit, it's all the same to me, dude. And it's just like, and I know it's like I said, it's long-winded, but that shit, it feels the exact same. 10,000 people to 120 people, that shit don't fucking matter. It's all about why are you fucking here? Why do you wake up every morning? Why is for no fucking, I don't work. I don't have a goddamn job. My only job is wrestling. So I only wrestle Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Why in the fuck are you getting up to the Reveille like a real piece of shit at 7:30, 6:30 every single, I might hit snooze a couple times, guys, but every single fucking morning.
You're fucking out of control, bro.
But yeah, so like I said, dude, but there's all that shit's connected to me.
So, hey, look, man, we fucking love the shit out of you. We love it every time you come on because you make us think about wrestling. And this was like a wild card episode. I don't even know how we got to where we got. And then just everything went back to the fucking Buffalo.
Yeah, dude. It's all, dude. When you fucking people listen tonight or next week or whenever you fucking listen to the WrestleMania podcast, know that I'm sitting outside my grandma's house right now, and in the guest room, which is now currently being resided as my bedroom at Tatanka, Buffalo, lives and breathes because I gave up that moment to shoot him to death to create and probably get an achievement because he's the last little fucking piece of shit that I need of all the legendary animals of fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. I gave that up to be on the WrestleManiacs podcast. And I want you little motherfuckers who would put your fucking earbuds in or AirPods in, I want you little motherfuckers to remember that shit. Every single time that my voice comes out, is I'm giving up something so special to me. And today, it was a Buffalo.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, we're going to close that out. Aaron, stick around for about 2 minutes afterwards.
Okay.
Kyle, you have anything else?
I can't follow up that Coke rant. I cannot follow that Coke rant.
All right, folks, we're going to catch you guys next week with we don't fucking know what yet, but we'll find something beforehand because it's going to be hard to follow this one. Any parting shots there, Mr. Orion?
Hey, this weekend I got coming up Superkick in Toronto. So if you're listening to this and it's not Friday, I am going to be in Toronto, Canada. And I don't know how many viewers you have or listeners you have in Toronto, but I'm going to be in that motherfucker.
Oh, we have zero in Toronto. Like the most international we got was Australia, and we had one guy.
Okay, well, don't cut that part out and let these motherfuckers know that I'm going to be in Toronto, Canada, and I'm coming for the fucking Superkick #1 contendership of the newly crowned, coming up next month in July, the newly crowned fucking first ever Superkick tag team champions, Death Threat Army. I'm coming for fucking blood. I'm bringing my goddamn flag into Canada. I'm going to drape it over someone's fucking dead goddamn body and know that. And then I'm going to come back on the U.S. soil, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrestle fucking Impact's Diener brothers, and then I'm going to go against the fucking Fun Loving Criminals. That's DBA and Jamie Cox, and then Lotus, fucking Gavin Flynn, and fucking Juntai. And that's for the XICW goddamn tag team championship, and we're the champions right now. So you don't got to worry about that shit. We have home field advantage. But I'm fucking coming for goddamn blood, WrestleManiacs fans and viewers and fucking listeners. You got to know that I'm coming for blood. Me and Jack Price, we're coming for it. And I'm going to expect nothing less except for my blood, or not my blood, the blood of others fucking doused all over my fucking virgin body. And I will accept nothing.
Okay, all right. Jesus Christ. We will catch you guys next week. Jesus.